the previous week, we found out that Ian may not be a real Chandler, and all of a sudden, Lucy is having feelings for him. And I was kind of like, when I was watching this episode, I was kind of like, okay, so all of a sudden Lucy got feelings for Ian? Like, okay. So that means that all this time when she thought that was her brother, she was pretty much, you know, suppressing her feelings, because we all knew from the get-go when the show first came on, before we found out they were brother and sister, that they were, you know, having feelings for each other. So that pretty much meant that Lucy all this time has been suppressing her feelings for Ian. So, you know, I guess whenever she found out that Ian wasn't her brother anymore, she's like, I am still kind of digging him. Let me see what that's about. So pretty much in this episode, she's kind of like trying to figure out if she wants to tell Ian that she's into him or whatever, and how she's feeling about Will. I guess all of a sudden that's just whatever, because she's just like, whatever, let me move on to Ian. Lucy pretty much goes ahead when she finds out that he might not be a real Chandler and that he might not be her brother. She pretty much does like research and stuff. She does the math, and she pretty much figures out that, yeah, he's not a real Chandler and that he's not her brother. So with that being said, she's like, okay, well, my feelings are legit then, you know, let me go after Ian. So her mother pretty much warns her, like, not to let any of this go down, because if she tells Ian that Ian is not a Chandler, first of all, he's going to be distraught because, you know, his dad ain't really his daddy. Second of all, she's going to mess up her relationship with Will. And third of all, she's going to blow her relationship with Harper. So her mom's pretty much like, you know, don't tell Ian nothing, you know, mind your own business. So then we also saw in this first opening part of the show, James Chandler goes to the house, which is Ian's supposed daddy, but is not really his daddy. It gets confusing after a while, y'all, unless y'all like actually watching the show. But yeah, so James goes over to the house to see Elena, and Lucy opens the door, and he's like, oh, so Elena, this is your daughter? And Elena's like, yeah, this is my daughter, Lucy. And he's like, how old is she? And she's like 17. So James does the math, and he's like, wait a minute, is this my kid? And Elena's like, yep, this is your kid. So that's how pretty much James and Lucy meet. But before you write James off to be a bad guy, he's not actually all that bad. Now, we don't know what he's going to actually do for Lucy, but he does go ahead, he cancels the scholarship. Lucy and her mom aren't going away, which I knew would probably happen, because it's like, if Lucy and her mom go away, where's the show at? You know, like, they're the main part of the show. So they're not going away anymore. He pretty much says that he's going to do something for her money-wise, but we don't know what that's going to be. We probably won't find out until next season. So he's not a bad guy. He's trying to step up, and he realizes that, hey, you know, he hasn't been there for her for the past 17 years, so he wants to be there for her now. So there's also like this weird tornado thing that happens, or tornado warning rather, in the park, and things get crazy. Everyone in the park has to like go, you know, underground or whatever, and pretty much hide out from the storm. So during the midst of all that, Elena also meets with James Chandler's wife, and his wife starts asking questions to Elena about, oh, how long have you worked here, you know, yada yada yada. So pretty much his wife figures out that James probably had an affair with this woman. So there's that. And then there was the big cliffhanger, which was kind of like, what? So Ian it's the 4th of July when all of this stuff is going down, right? So Ian's brother somehow tells him, like, you're not a real Chandler. I forgot exactly what happened, but he pretty much spills the beans, letting him know that, hey bro, you ain't no real Chandler. That ain't your daddy. So at that point, Ian is pretty much distraught, and he goes upstairs to the little castle place or whatever. And he was supposed to be meeting Elena there for some parade thing for the park. And he goes up there. Elena goes up there too. pretty much tells him about the whole scholarship thing and how she's not leaving. Next thing I know, they're on the bed making out, and there's fireworks playing in the background. And guess who walks in? Will and Harper. So, yeah, I feel so sorry for Will. Like, he just looked just so sad. He's been waiting on Lucy for a minute too, and it's just like for her to just go ahead and get with Ian, it's just kind of like, whoa. And neither one of them know that Ian isn't really her brother anymore, so I know that had to be awkward. Then walking in, she's laying on the bed kissing with him, fireworks in the background, and they like, okay, wait a minute, y'all brother and sister, why y'all kissing? So yeah, that's how they left off this season. Completely good. I also think that Harper still has feelings for Will, just based on the way that like she was like making sure that Will was making like this picnic basket thing for her, you know, like real sweet. And he wanted to just kind of surprise her with that, but the surprise was that she was about to get it in with Ian. So yeah, that was this week's episode. Well, actually it was last week, but I'm doing it this week. But y'all know what I mean. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this season. I loved it. I love Happyland. I think it's a great show. Great, great, great show. I can't wait to see what they do with it next season. I think that's going to be interesting. So, yeah. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Ciao!